2022. Upcoming Memphis rapper Didnt Scar, who was mainly known for his song So Icy Boys, who got signed to Gucci, passed away from prescription pain medication overdose. Didnt Scar uncle said on the 22nd, Scar was at his girlfriend's house where he passed away, but his uncle was confused on where he even got the drugs from. Didnt Scar was only 22, and his family knew that he battled depression, but they didn't know how bad it really was. Even though Scar was only 22, he went through so much. Scar was born April 7, 2000, and grew up in the Magnolia community of South Memphis, Tennessee. He was one of 9 kids, and he stayed with his grandma until he was about 13, when she sadly passed away from stage 4 lung cancer. And this was really like the downfall of this man's life.
Like, what you give all this shit back?
My grandma, my baby raised me from birth to 13.
She meant a lot to him.
Nigga, that grandma.
His mama.
Bro, niggas don't be understanding. Niggas that still got that grandma food do not be understanding, bro. That grandma will take you out the game and have your ass looking, searching, trying to find the same feeling that granny gave you. Ain't never find that shit, fool. Ever. I've been looking.
He said he used to pray every night that she would stay alive until he was around 22, which was sadly the age he passed away at. But he said this because he thought it would have been better on his mind, like easier for him to handle death since he was older. But later in the interview I just showed you, he said he realized he was wrong for thinking that, and that his grandma passing made him stronger as a man, helped him go about situations differently. And I think everybody can relate to that. I think everybody done had a bad situation happen to them, but it eventually turned into a blessing by making you stronger as a person, or just making you think about things differently. But after his grandma passed, it hit him real hard. He didn't know what to do. He was so lost. He just was doing anything. But she passed. He went and stayed with his pops, who he got real close with, and taught Scar structure in life. But his grandma's passing did something to him. It changed everything for Scar. And at age 15, he said he joined Great Street Crip and dropped out of school in the 10th grade for the streets. And Scar said that was the best decision of his life. He said the streets taught him a lot. He felt like all he needed from school was to know how to read and count money. But after he left school to bang, he was on some hothead shit. And around that time in Memphis, down there, was big on stealing cars. So one day in 2016, him and his man stole a car. It was him, the bro, and some hoes in the back seat. They get on the road and start driving. They pull up to a light and it just turned yellow. And Scar tried to rush through the light. But at the same time he tried to rush through the light, another car did the same and turned at the intersection while he was rushing through the light. And all he remembered was getting hit, waking up in the ambulance, and getting his clothes cut off of him. But soon after waking up, all his memory came back. And when this nigga first came back to consciousness, the first thing he said he was worried about was his teeth. This nigga was like, is my teeth straight? Is my teeth straight? That's all he was worried about at first. Until he really sat and thought about it, until all his memory really came back. After he hit the other car, he flew through the windshield, and his face landed on the hood of the car, and his face literally started to burn off, which scarred the side of his face, which is where he got the name Didnt Scar from. And like I spoke about earlier in the video, that probably made his mental health so much worse. In 2013, his grandma passed away, and his grandma was everything to him. She raised him. It was basically like his mama. And that's not something that you could just get over in a few years. You know that was still affecting him. You know that's something that was always in the back of his mind. And just,
I ain't no bitch Scar went through all this shit though, fool. I just thought it was a rapper nigga that like perks, got a fake pill, fool. Died. Passed, died, whatever you want to say. That's all I thought he was, bro. I ain't know he went through all this.
3 years later, for him to get in a car accident that left him in the hospital and burned some of his face off, you know that had to put him in a worse mental space. That was probably the start of the depression that his uncle was talking about. But he eventually got past that car accident. And a few years later, he made the best decision of his life by starting a rap career. At first, he didn't want to rap. He was like, y'all, I'm not no rapper. I don't do this rap stuff. I don't know why y'all trying to get me to be a rapper. Like, this is not me. But everybody around him used to always say, bro, you got the rapper image. Like, if you rap, you gonna be good. It's gonna work for you. And so he listened. He started his rap career, and just a few months in, his career took off. He got lucky with how fast his music started to pop. But before he even dropped, he had the feeling in the back of his head it was gonna do decent because people in the city knew him. He had a little city buzz. He was a known nigga in the city. So it dropped first week with 20K, 30, 50K, and eventually it got the attention of one of the biggest channels in the hip hop space, Tommy Craze. If you don't know Tommy Craze, he's basically a really big reactor, and this not the first time he done boosted a career. But Tommy Craze reacted to Big Scar song, it blew up, hit 1 mil, 2 mil, 3 mil. It just kept going up, and that's what really put him on. And a few months after that, he was in the studio with Pooh Shiesty. They recorded a few songs, and Shiesty dipped. As he was on the way home, he was talking to Gucci.
Free Shiesty, R.I.P. Big Scar, bro.
And their conversation turned to Pooh Shiesty telling Gucci he just left the stew with Big Scar. And Gucci was like, hold up, nigga. Turn around. I need to talk to Scar. Pooh listened to Gucci, turned the V around, went back to the stew. He walked up in there, handed Scar the phone, told him, Gucci want to talk to you. And Gucci pretty much signed Scar on the spot. They got on the phone, they chatting it up, talking business. Gucci said, come to ATL right now and pick up your jewelry. But right before him and Gucci had this conversation, something else happened. When Big Scar started to pop a little bit, everybody used to always tell him, stop going back to Memphis. Don't go back there. Niggas who do not like you, they hate you. Don't go back to Memphis. Them niggas knew Memphis was a trap and didn't want Scar to fall victim to it. But Scar didn't listen.
They show you a lot of love up there?
And hate. It really more hate than love though, man. It's like a lot of love turns to hate. I don't know why, but it is.
He hit Memphis one day and they found him like, let shots go. In 2020, Scar got shot in the hip, and while they was shooting at him, you know, he being a human and running from the bullets. And when one of the shots hit him in the hip, him moving caused the bullet to go from his hip into his lung, which caused him to be put on bed rest for a few weeks. And just a few days after getting off bed rest, Gucci made that call. So when he went to ATL to get his jewelry, he still was bandaged up from getting shot. He was still recovering. He was still in pain, but it was about that bad. He made a good decision by pushing through the pain and meeting up with Gucci. And look, even though he might have had all this success, Scar still got shot. And like I said before, he was probably already in a bad mental space from all the trauma that done went on in his life. And this just added up on top of it. And it started to make him more and more depressed. Even with all this success around him, he's still human. And a lot of people in our community be downplaying mental health like it ain't as important as everything else in life. People just think you got money, you automatically happy. There's nothing that could go wrong. You should be happy. You got money. You got a big house. You got 1 million cars. You got $1 million. You got all these followers, all these views. You should be happy. But life really don't work like that. And I really think that's something that gotta stop in the rap community or just black community in general. I know y'all know what I'm talking about. Eventually, the bad feelings took over and caused him to start drifting toward drugs more and more. And with the newfound rap money coming in, it gave him access to any drug you could think of.
Where you going, cuz? Where you going, cuz? Cuz, where you going, cuz?
In the months leading up to his death, it really ain't no telling what could have been going on in his mind, what drugs he was on, or anything. And the crazy part is, this year started out so good for him. He had buzz. People liked him. He was an XXL freshman. Everything was looking up for him. Everybody had hope for Scar. People thought he was next up.
We are following more breaking news tonight. This is about a Memphis rapper connected to Young Dolph. Rapper Big Scar has died. This is what was posted by rapper Gucci Mane on his Instagram page. It shows a picture of Big Scar along with the caption that reads, "This hurts. I'm going to miss you."
This was another sad death for the music industry. Like I said in some of my past videos, the rap game is probably one of the most dangerous places to be. So many rappers pass away, whether it be from drugs, stupid violence, or just anything. But what I can say is make sure you always checking in on your folk. You don't never know what they're going through. Rest in peace to Big Scar.
Like I was saying, I don't know if my mic was muted or not, because I looked on my shit, it was muted. Anyway, bro, if any of my people going through anything, bro, call me. I mean, I'll be wilding sometimes, flashing out, because I be going through my own shit. But if my niggas can let me know they going through something, bro, and I'm gonna be there in any way, shape, or form possible, because this shit real, bro. And stop popping these damn perks. Them just, it's not real.